Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on CapnclydesMTG. And today we've got some more Aetherdrift spoilers, leaks, call them what you will. The preview, some would say, of the set getting ready to come out here in February. And we don't have a whole lot of cards today, just about, I don't know, 20. But anyway, getting closer to having a whole full set done. And we've got some classics coming back to the old standard. And honestly, some of them never really left. They're just, printing them again and again and again because that's what Wizards does. But anyway, don't forget, comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Links down below. Innistrad Remastered is on the eBay store. I'm listing, as this video is going up, on TCG Players some of the cheaper cards. So, yeah, if you want something, go over there, help support the channel. Also, you can be a YouTube member for as little as $1. Get the videos before anybody else. And, help support my, obviously, piss-poor money management skills and expensive hobbies. Jesus Christ. All right, let's go. So, we're going to start off with this little fella, the Pothole Mole. That is the ugliest thing. Is that... Wow. Okay, anyway... green and 2 for a 2/3. When this creature enters, you mill 3 cards, you return a land card from your graveyard to your hand. So we've had a card almost identical to this, if not very similar. Does the same thing. I think it even costs the same. Close to the same power and toughness as a common. It's good for limited. It helps you mill stuff, fix your land problems, things like that. It's really good for picking up fetch lands and whatnot out of your graveyard. Especially in limited. No, I know fetch lands aren't in limited, but hey, you got those really cheap ones like Evolving Wilds. The fetches. Anyway, moving on. Next, we have Locust Spray. So for 1 black, target creature gets -1/-1 to end of turn. Cycles for 1 black. Now we're talking. We've got semi-decent removal. But hey, for 1 black and cycling so you can draw a card, this is a guaranteed all-star for limited. I mean, honestly, probably won't see much past that because A, it's not a creature. B, cycling's only good if you can put it in your graveyard and get it back out. And also, this really ain't removing a whole lot of anything. Okay, let me take it back. You could put this in a sideboard because we all know mono red is huge. However... if you've played against mono red, those creatures don't stay small for long. So if you don't get them when they first hit the battlefield, you're pretty much not killing them with this. So yeah. Next we have Lightning Strike. Look at that little fella coming back. The red in 1 instant, deal 3 damage to any target. Premium removal, if you will. I mean, it's not no lightning bolt, but at this point in our life, it is. It's amazing how Lightning Bolt, the premium removal card for red, has never been beat as far as a removal spell in red, but everything else is power creeped up to the point it's almost ridiculous. About that. Anyway, moving on. Next we have Spell Pierce. That's right. Spell Pierce is back. Counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 2 colorless. Why do you think they reprinted this? Well, probably not because it's all that great, but probably because there's a shit ton of vehicles in this set, and this will stop damn near anything. Obviously, except for a creature. But, still a good card, and honestly still sees play. Not fond of the art, but, still a good card. So, next we have Howler's Heavy, whatever the hell that means. It's a blue and 3 for this 3/4. It has cycling for a blue and 1, so you can discard it to draw a card. When you cycle the card, target creature or vehicle and opponent control gets -3/-0, or it's a 3/4 for 4 mana. Seal Pirate. I didn't even see that. Wow, that's funny. I mean, this is definitely just a limited card, but in limited, this seems really powerful. The ability to stop your opponent from hitting you so you can kill something. A 4 mana 3/4 is not bad in limited. And just cycling in general, I've said it before, cycling on anything makes it playable. So, yeah. We have Kick-Off Celebration. Is that Chandra? Almost looks like a dude. Anyway, look at the size of that eyeball. That's what she said. Anyway, Red and 1 enchantment. It has start your engines. When the enchantment enters, you may discard a card. If you do, draw 2. All right, we've seen this before. At max speed, sacrifice the enchantment. Creatures and vehicles you control gain haste. This is probably not good. Here's why. We've had this same card before, and it was good, but it didn't have the start your engines on it. It literally was, it comes in, discard a card, draw 2, sacrifice it, your stuff gets haste. Like, there was no conditional thing on it. So, I mean, I don't see this seeing a whole lot of play, but to be fair, as an enchantment, it does have other uses than being sacrificed. I mean, you could sacrifice it to something that has bargain. So, I mean, maybe. We'll see. Next, we have Outpace Oblivion. So, red and 2 for this enchantment that has start your engines. When this enchantment enters, it deals 5 damage to up to 1 target creature or planeswalker. This is going to see shit tons of play. Just that one sentence. For 2 colorless, sacrifice this enchantment. It deals 2 damage to each player who doesn't have max speed. No speed. Oh, so you want to get it to max speed. That way, when you do this, it doesn't damage you, I guess. Well, anyway, 3 mana, 5 damage to anything is premium removal. And as a permanent that can be sacrificed to something else later, you don't have to sack it. You can sacrifice it to something for bonuses, like we just mentioned, bargain. So, yeah, I think this is probably going to see some play. And to be fair, this kills children and everything else with a big butt. Not big butts, and I cannot lie. Anyway, yeah, this will definitely probably see some play in the sideboard at minimum if it's not starting in some decks. Now, mono red, like quick aggro decks, probably not. There's probably better cards for decks like that. But in a mid-range style deck, trying to take advantage of high casting cost, weird combos, probably. All right, so moving on. Next, we have Alcarian Armor. Is that just is that a shield and a hat, or is that just a shield? What is going on here? Anyway, white and 3 artifact. Creatures you control get +0/+1 and have vigilance. Well, that's very underwhelming. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose up to 1 target mount or vehicle you control until the end of turn. That permanent becomes saddled if it's a mount, and becomes an artifact creature if it's a vehicle. All right, now we're talking. Yeah, we saw all them vehicles before that had like god-awful crew abilities because it was so high and they're big nappy things. This will button that right up for you and make those bad boys come across the battlefield. So, yeah. There's probably a combo in there somewhere. I mean, especially in white, since white's the thing grabbing stuff out of the graveyard that's artifacts and throwing it on the battlefield. Next, we have Light Wheel Enhancements. Okay. Tron. I'm just thinking Tron. Anyway, 1 white aura, enchant creature or vehicle, has start your engines. Enchanted permanent gets +1/+1 and has vigilance. At max speed, you may cast this card from your graveyard. Okay. I mean, I've seen worse. And the ability to cast it for free out of the graveyard once you get to max speed is pretty sweet, not gonna lie. We'll probably slot into a couple enchantment decks, especially in Commander. And in Limited, this has definitely got some legs, or wheels as it is. Giggity. Next we have the Deathless Pilot. That is a horrifying visage. Anyway, black and 1 for this 2/2. This creature saddles mounts and vehicles as though they power 2 or greater. Wow, so we can saddle up to 4. For a black and 3, return this card from your graveyard to your hand. Wow, that's sweet. I mean, not sweet enough for Standard, but pretty amazing for Limited. Next, we have Push the Limit. That's a cool picture, I ain't gonna lie. 2 red and 5. Wow, this ought to be something. 7 mana, sorcery. Return all mount and vehicle cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Sacrifice them, beginning your next end step. Vehicles you control become artifact creatures till the end of turn. Creatures you control gain haste until end of turn. So, basically a 7... This is a red Crater Hoof. Because you throw everything on the battlefield. If it's not a creature, it becomes a creature. And then everything gets haste, and you just swing for the fences. There's going to be a deck about this. And if there's not, I am disappointed in the Magic community. Anyway, moving on. Next, we have Howl Squad Heavy. Can we just put the heavy in the front of this stuff? The Heavy Howl Squad? Like, is it that Anyway, moving on. Red and 2 for a 2/3 Goblin Mercenary. Has start your engines. Other goblins you control have haste. That's going to see some play. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. That token attacks if able. Max speed. Tap. Add 1 red for each goblin you control. Sweet mother of God, this is rare and not legendary. Holy cow. This is like half Krinko, half goblin. What's that 3-mana goblin? The 3-mana goblin that comes in and makes goblins and swings. And this is insanely. Plus, all your goblins get haste. It's like the goblin that gives everybody haste. This is every goblin you ever want in your goblin deck rolled into one card. Holy cow. Yeah, this is going to be popular. And if it's not and not worth much, I will be shocked. Shocked, I tell you. This is going to see Commander play. This may very well make a goblin deck happen in Standard if there's enough goblins worth a damn. This guy's just nuts. Holy cow. He might be good enough by himself. Jeez, he just makes 1/1s every turn. For the love of God. I mean, the last time we had a goblin that made 1/1s every turn before it attacked, it pretty much it won tournaments, let alone tapping for red. Okay, I'm calm. We'll just move on like I didn't just rant. Anyway, we have the Grim Bobble. Ooh, Bobbles are back. 1 black. It's a get bobble head. Oh God, I love the cheekiness. Artifact, when it enters, target creature and opponent controls gets -2/-2 to end of turn. Oh, and it's removal. Oh, sign me up. For a black and 2, you sacrifice it and surveil 2. This. Limited All-Star. -2/-2 makes this very playable in Standard, in my opinion. Especially with the ability to sacrifice it and surveil. Oh, God. This I'm all in for. I hope we get a bobble for every color. For the love of God, please. I want a bobblehead for every color. Anyway, moving on. Next we have whatever the hell that says. No, it's the Charcoal Gearhulk. Looks sweet. Not going to lie. That's some art. 2 red, 2 black, and 1. So 5 mana for a 5/4. Artifact Creature Construct. It has Menace and Death Touch. Well, that's some shit you don't see on the same card. Anyway, when it enters, put target creature card in your graveyard, mana value 4 or less, onto the battlefield with a finality counter on it. That creature has Menace, Death Touch, and Haste. Beginning of your next end step, exile that creature. Holy wow. This seems really good. I mean, black-red's already a thing. I know it's 5 mana, but God, the things this can do. I mean, the biggest drawback is you have to target a creature card. But, I mean, I don't know. Pulling Shielded out for a turn and swinging with her just seems good. And there's other things that are 4 or less that are extremely powerful that this thing could be jerking out of the graveyard in Standard, let alone the other formats like, Commander. Get the foils while they're cheap. All right, so next we have nothing. We're going to sew this one up on this sweet art and this sweet card. Got Pacific Rim. Big monster. Love it. Makes me want to Gundam. So anyway, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. Until next time, be kind. And as always, I hope to see you across from the game table. When's someone going to invent big robots that we can pilot? Love of God, it's the 21. It's the year 2000. What? I'm so disappointed in our rich people. We don't even have Iron Man. It's just sad.